Hello everyone, my name is Daryl. This is my first ever presentation video. I would like to correct on my previous video, which was kind of threw together for this more organized approach. I'm here with you today in this video in an attempt to reach out and to bring awareness to a horrible situation. A situation that plagues many people. It is called elderly abuse. Today, I'm going to talk to you about elderly abuse of the medically and or mentally ill. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about my father. My father, a Vietnam veteran and a great man who now has dementia, I love and respect very much. Before I get into the issue at hand, I would like to share with you a haunting story of a powerful and tragic event which he lived through. An event that changed both his life. It also changed my view on wars and politics. This was an event that he described to me in graphic detail and just a couple of years ago. I'm going to share with you the story. My father, after he had gotten out of school, had the love of his life, my mother, Linda Allen. On his way home from school and on his way home from after work, he decided to stop at the jewelry store and buy an engagement ring, for he was going to ask my mom's hand in marriage. When he arrived at home, he checked his mailbox. In his mailbox, he found there a draft notice for the Vietnam War. My father put the ring in his pocket. He never asked my mom for her hand in marriage that day. He did what he had to do for his country. As he went to boot camp, he then went off to fight in the Vietnam War. Not only did my father get drafted, but as well 3 of my father's brothers were also drafted. My father tells me a story of when he was on a patrol and walking on a trail that one of his brothers was also on that patrol. He was in a different company, but he was sharing on that patrol. And before they left camp, the 2 brothers sat and they talked to each other. They then put on their gear and they began that patrol that day. Walking along the trail, my father's brother in front of him stepped on a bouncing Betty or a landmine, I'm not sure of which, causing the landmine to explode. And my father, being the next person in line, as well caught shrapnel that day in the leg. Of the shrapnel that he caught in the leg, when he went to the hospital, as a story that I tell you is very true, that the x-ray showed some of the shrapnel which was in his thigh to have been shrapnel of his very own brother. Very true story. My dad then left the military He came home. He built a life. He bought a house. He's raised a family. He's raised 2 children. He's had amazing good days. My father, as well, now has dementia. I'm being told that I cannot see my father. Being told that I cannot go on the property by my sister. That I'm being advised by a lawyer that I can't go on the property of the house, and that I cannot go on the property of Hall Ave as well. I have spent many years there. I mowed the yard and cared for the property. I have a lot of memories. I'm going to share with you pictures and video clips dating back to 2014, starting with this, a photo of my mom, my son. I'm pretty sure this is before 2014, but they're walking as we're returning back to my parents' house from the lot, which is situated on Hall Ave. We used to sit there for hours. I have amazing memories of wonderful conversations that we have all shared there. I have kept the brush clear of the road and cleared of the property enough to enjoy countless hours there. I've camped there. I've done amazing things there. I have, you know, it has been, you know, many years of good times. Rest in peace, Mom, as she had passed away in 2016. I'm going to share with you some horrible things and an issue that's current. In 2018, while I was there, I've always kept the brush down, always kept the road open and accessible. You see, Hall Ave is a private road, and the people who live on Hall Ave are who's responsible to keep the road open, to keep it cleared. There currently are 6 families, I believe, that border the road. The Osters, Paxton, Allen, the former property that was Doris Allen. Across the road from her, the property, I believe it was LaPero. He was an attorney back in the day. He has the red house. And then you have Mr. Totoro, who is located directly behind my Uncle John's house. If you don't keep the road cleared, with it being a private road, the land that's on it can become landlocked. And so every year I go there and I clear the brush back off the road, and I clear some of the brush as well, you know, on the property. A lot of times I camp there, you see, because I don't drive, and so I ride a bicycle. In 2018, there was an issue with my address in Canastota. Kyle and myself moved in with my father. When we moved in, the yard was very overgrown. The back areas weren't even mowed, that they were going right to weeds. I had mowed, cleared, removed all the brush. I removed by trailer all of the garbage, which included several piles of randomly bagged garbage belonging to a relative, we'll say. It was also during this time, which lasted almost 2 full years, that of course I set the town doing as normal, you know, clearing the brush, removing the junk. You know, I was trying to keep things taken care of over there. And, you know, I would even go over and sit and reflect on the conversations I shared with my mom. I did all of this with basic tools, a chainsaw, a rake, and such and so forth. I've done all along. While I was clearing the brush, 2018-2019, I was approached by a man who came from the house on the property that was once occupied by my grandparents. When he got up to me, he began having what seemed like an aggressive conversation where he repeatedly mentioning having interest in the property, wanting to buy the property, wanting to acquire the property, having no care that the road grew in, knowing, you know, that if the road grows in, you know, the property becomes landlocked, as I was explaining to you. While also there, had seen, you know, the four-wheeler tracks and the ruts that were all over, you know, the property as they're riding four-wheelers. Grown adults riding four-wheelers all over the place. I'd asked him in 2018 to stop. And he had said, you know, he had walked away. He didn't say that he was going to stop, but he had walked away. Not only was the people in my grandmother's house, as I found out, riding there, but the entire neighborhood. As the people in the red house across the road, they were also riding around on the property over there. As well, other people in the neighborhood. I'm like, wow, I could not even believe this. So also in 2018, I went and I visited my Uncle Frank in North Chittenango. While in North Chittenango visiting my Uncle Frank, I had explained to him, I was also there with my girlfriend, I'd like to mention, but anyways, I had told him of the four-wheelers and such, the ruts. I had some trail cams over there. They were destroyed. I've had property over there destroyed, come up missing, stuff over there vandalized. And I had told him of this. And he had instructed me and had agreed to put up no trespassing signs. And of course, you know, after seeing my Uncle Frank and returning to the Hall Ave property, of course I ran back into the neighbors at the other end of the road. I asked him nicely, please keep the four-wheelers off the property. I posted signs at that point. I was down there. We'll fast forward now. We'll fast forward to 2021. As I was down there this year, July 4th, I had, again, clearing back the brush. It's only wide enough now for a four-wheeler. That's not a car track, that's a four-wheeler track now, as the brush has grown in quite a bit. As you can see, nobody else is clearing it. And, nobody else is clearing it. So, what I have done is this year, I keep running into, like I said, every time I get down there, I am running into hostility with Melanie. She's telling me to clean it up. She's telling me not to be there. In 2018, while I was there clearing it, in 2018, while I was again, maintaining the property, mowing my dad's yard and taking care of him as well, buying groceries, and such. I'm sorry. I had even given him $300 spread out over for 3 months, totaling $900 for taxes. And now I go over there and I'm told that I can't be there. I'm told that I can't be on the property. In 2018, I had given my father $900. I had had conversations with my father and with, I believe, 5 people present for these conversations, that going over to have the property surveyed, it would be a cost of $1,400. It would be done, the people in Canastota is who quoted me, that after I had it surveyed, he would switch it to my name and that he had no problem. Again in 2018, 2019, my father didn't have dementia. He was completely cognitive. He drove, he bought groceries, he fed himself, he was able to move around. In 2018, he wasn't held prisoner by dogs, and at this time, Melanie was still happy with her abusive relationship with Mark Maddox. So, things were pretty cool. Now I try to go over there to camp, or I try to go over there even to mow the yard. I go over there to mow the yard. She tells me that I'm a thief and that I'm stealing stuff. When all that I'm over there to do is use my own father's lawnmower to mow his grass, which she's not taking care of. She's not taking care of the road. She's not. The buildings are falling down. She's not repairing them. The stairs fell down. She just put a pallet there. This man hasn't seen, a doctor. I go over there to visit my father, and every single time she becomes hostile. I'm causing issues. Stay off the property. She swears at me. She's very belligerent. She's very hostile. And this is what I get when I go over there. She tells me to take down, my campsite, and that it's an eyesore. My campsite can't be seen by anybody. My campsite is right here in front of you. My campsite's amazing. During COVID, when they sent us all that money, I bought a $100 greenhouse. I got a $100 cabin tent. Kyle has his own 4-man tent. We have a bathroom. We don't bother anybody. We keep completely to ourselves. I use my own tools. I clear and do nothing but good stuff for the land. Most of the time, I ride a bicycle there. I carry a wagon. I bring my own stuff, when I go there. My father receives enough income where he's never ever had an issue with his bills. He's always paid his taxes. He helped Allen's bottle and can return become what it was. Now, Melanie hits up pantry boxes to feed him. She feeds him pie filling. She feeds him paste. She buys swimming pools and boats and mini bikes, gardens, trips to wherever. She had a house that she just let go. The bank foreclosed on because for Melanie, toys and trips were more important than bills, the power, the roof over your head. All of what his entire life has been. The military, worked at Carrier, everything that he has built, she's erasing. He's kept prisoner in a room. He's kept prisoner in a room by a dog that bites everybody. This dog has bit Sherry, the next door neighbor. The dog has bit Anacola. The dog has bit my son on the belly, me on the back of the leg. He's left alone for days at a time. He can't feed himself. He can't get out of the room because of the dog, and can't use the bathroom. Now he's in a depend that he's going to poo and pee in for however many days Melanie decides to leave for. And this is ridiculous. I mean, really? And now I'm told that I can't go over there. So I made a trip I tried to go to family court. Family court doesn't do adult cases, they do child cases. They told me to try surrogates, but they also recommended me over to, adult social services. So, you know, I'm doing everything, in my power to try to help this man. 'Cause there are some of you who out there who were present through some of these conversations, who were there when some of these things happened. You know that I'm not lying to you. You do know that I have been told by the owners and by the people to maintain the property, to keep the trespassers away, to keep it, that this is our family, our heritage, our property, our life. We've worked our life to be able to have this. I have just showed you videos that go back and pictures that go back, 10 years of a history that I have with this place. I'm told by Melanie that she would come pick me up to go over there to do things, and then she doesn't. When I go over there on a bicycle and I ride the 5 or 6 miles there, I'm greeted to locked doors and dogs that bite. I mean, he had friends that came to visit him: Anna Cola, Mabel Condon, myself. They've all been driven away. Dogs have bit him. He's left there in isolation. He's left in a room. He's left in a world inside of his head all of the time. If there is anybody out there, look, if I'd had problems with you in the past, I am sorry. I really am. And I really, really hope, that if you've been participated or had heard these conversations, please come forward. Please let me know. You can do it anonymously. Don't leave it in the comments. Message me, call me, knock on my door. My door is always open. My phone is always on. Call me. Let me know. Please let me know. I'm going to let you go. I wanted to keep this as short and as informative as I can. I'm at 23 minutes, and I'm going to conclude this. My name is Darrell Allen. My father's name is Holton Allen. Again, a great man, a Vietnam veteran. It is this man that I would like to be able to see again, to talk to again, to share time before I am burying this man, as I've already buried my mother. Please let me be able to see this man and visit with him before I have to bury him. Please, somebody out there, please, can you help me? Anybody.